What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Second Street. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Here we are on the morning after new comic book day, and today I'm going to get into some new comic book reviews for this week, but I don't have very many comics to review this week. So, we're going to go through these reviews, and then we are going to just get into some other chat, talk about things going on out there in the world, like, for instance, Shang-Chi's getting ready to release in theaters. Are you going to go see it? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, let me know, what is your hype level for Shang-Chi? Is there any hype? I don't know. You tell me. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll let you know that right off the bat that me and my kids are going to go see it tonight, the movie theater. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Let me check. I feel like this thing, there we go. Is that, there we go. Is that a little bit better? I feel like that's a little bit better right there, but maybe that's just me. But yeah, guys, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and also share it out with your friends. Tell them to all come hang out here. I can tell you, one of the things I did, I pulled this trick. Because what they do is YouTube isn't very good about sending out notifications, and I was getting ready to go a few minutes late here in the first place. And I didn't have time to get my streams. I need to start scheduling streams earlier, but I didn't get time to get my stream scheduled out there. So what I did was I scheduled it for 40 minutes ahead of time. So then when the 30-minute mark came, it sent out the notification. And then I went, yeah. So hey, you got a little bit of warning. I mean, look, YouTube's probably not gonna. They're probably not gonna send you an update and tell you that I'm live until right towards the tail end of the stream anyway. So hey, make sure you share it out with your friends. Tell them to come hang out. Oh wait, damn it! You know what? I forgot. I'm supposed to go with the YouTube is out there trying to bury us in that algorithm. Why don't you help us out and share it with your friends? Because YouTube don't like me here. They don't like the channel. They're trying to shadow ban us. They hate us and the things that we say because we speak the truth here, and they can't handle the truth. That's why they are buried in that. I think that's the one we're supposed to go with. Yeah. I like that one. Yeah. YouTube hates us. YouTube sucks. F them and all of that stuff. And so yeah, share it out with your friends. It helps us in the algorithm, right? That's the one. It helps us in the algorithm. It helps push us out there in the algorithm. Share it out with your friends too, right? Tell them to come hang out. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them to hit those bell notifications, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people from our channel. So maybe you should make sure that's the other one. Make sure that you are still subscribed to the channel, because I mean, you found your way here from that notification you got, but they might have unsubscribed you between then and now. So I'm just saying, right? So, getting into today's comic book reviews, I've only got a few books here to cover. Starting off with Acme Inc. We got this one right here. This is Judas Priest. This book was $3.50, not the usual, $3.99 of most books. So this book right here is basically, it's kind of like a behind the music of Judas Priest. It's in black and white. As you can see here, you can see some of the art in this book as well. Just getting into this book, it's very much like a behind the music too. It goes really fast, and I feel like they leave out so much in this book talking about the band, because this is basically kind of a, man, is this even 32 pages? Probably, I don't know. It's probably not even 30. It's probably not even 21 pages. I don't know how many. I don't even know how many. It's probably about 32 pages total, but there's just not enough here for them to tell this whole story and do it justice. And they they really glazed over the whole story and didn't do it justice. But this book could be so much better if they made it just a little bit thicker, maybe do a couple of issues to tell this whole story about Judas Priest and their just kind of their history, how they got together, how they went and toured, and their success, and how they broke apart, how you know, they were both doing their different thing. Halford came out, and then they all got back together on this tour, and like, yeah, that's, I mean, they look, for $3.50, I'm not gonna bitch, but I think they could have done better. I think they could have done better. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Definitely a recommend if you're a Judas Priest fan, or maybe you just don't know this story. Maybe you just want to read a comic book about this story. I don't know. Whatever your reasons are, let me know down in the comments below if you would read this book from Acme Inc. Let me know if you did read it and what you thought about it. Again, I thought the art was good in it as well. I mean, there were times where it was a little bit, I don't know. I mean, it could have been better, as far as like looking like the people it's supposed to look like, but you know, not bad. But it was fun, entertaining. It was a very quick read as well. So, like I said, I don't know. I thought it was decent. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, getting into AWA Upshot is a publisher that, you know, I talk about so much here on this channel. You know, I enjoy the books that they are doing in this whole kind of shared universe that they've got going on. Now, the shared universe they have, not every single title has to take place in this shared universe, but they are encouraged and told, hey, if you want to, go ahead and, you know, just kind of do what you can to make it into this whole shared universe. And not all of them do necessarily, but I feel a lot of them do have the same kind of, not even post-apocalyptic feel, but post-pandemic feel. Now, the series launched off with J. Michael Straczynski's first series called The Resistance, which then came out. There was another spin-off series called Moths. And they also did like they've also got what is it, The Resistance Reborns. I think, is it Reborns going on right now? Reborns? Yeah, I can't remember. The Resistance. I think it is. But what happened is this is where this pretty much the whole this publisher launched off of was this series. The series called The Resistance, where this pandemic kind of swept the world. A lot of people got sick. A lot of people died. Some of those who didn't die ended up getting superpowers, almost like the X-Men or Inhumans, kind of. And they've got different people with different powers. Well, here in this new series, also being written by J. Michael Straczynski, we've got Telepaths. This is issue number 1 of 6. And in here, we see that what we've got is kind of everybody talking about these different things going on. There's a solar flare that was going on the sun, and how this one was different than one they've seen before, and kind of it kind of gives the implications of what is going on here in this story. Was in the larger story overall was kind of caused maybe by solar flares, and you kind of see the people on this talk show talking about, oh, you know, like how, you know, they're just trying to make it an eco game, you know, political, and you get it, all those kinds of things. And then you also flash to see this this doctor as well, working in this science lab, working with his class, showing them all one of like this little invention that they have got. And what it is like this little helmet that sends like these different waves. What is it? Sound waves through their through their brain, and it activates different parts of their brain, and they're able to do things that they would normally be able to do. And you just kind of see a lot of different people going on kind of in their everyday lives. You see a cop at work. It's his birthday. You know, he gets a surprise birthday party from his wife, his partners, other people in the how would you, in the, you know, their office, their precinct. There you go, precinct. That's the word I was looking for. In their precinct, throwing him a birthday party. Well, then supposedly this like solar flare hits the world, and this is when you see the catastrophe kind of hits. You see it's very post-apocalyptic after that, you know, like all these planes crashing, people just passing out, just everything kind of going off at once, you know, car collisions, all kinds of stuff just happening at once. And then you see everybody kind of waking up after this event, and you see some people starting to get what we get here in this story is people getting these telepathic powers, and whatever they're doing, they're able to start to hear the thoughts of other people, and they're like, they believe, obviously most of them believe that they are actually, people are talking to them. They're like, hey, you know, what would you just say? Like, well, I didn't say nothing, right? That kind of stuff. Very cool, very interesting setup here for this new story in the shared universe of the AWA Upshot Telepaths. Issue number 1 is definitely a recommend. Certainly, if you've been reading the whole AWA shared universe, especially the Resistance, but I feel this is a story you could actually hop onto and not really know anything that's going on in the shared universe and enjoy and get into as well. Now, the next one that we've got here, but okay, I guess I should have stopped that one. That was it for Telepaths. Let me know down in the comments below if you have read Telepaths and what you think about it. I think it was a very good book. I think it was very good. The writing in here, the art too. Steve Epting is on the art in this book. We've got Steve Epting, and the colorist is Brian Reber, lettered by Sal Cipriano. I guess I should have went over that. I usually go over that first, but I just started talking about this book because it was so dang good. It was so dang good. But we got this one right here. Telepaths. Go check it out. Now, moving into Aftershock Comics this week, I've got 2 books here, and both of them are the end of their respective series. First, we've got Phantom on the Scan, written by Colin Bunn. It's got art by Mark Torres. It's got colors, art and colors by Mark Torres. And the letterer is Dave Sharp. Now, this story is telling about these people who end up, well, almost like the last story, with not necessarily telepathy, but they can precognitive abilities. They can kind of predict the future, and they can also hear other people's thoughts, and a lot of things combined into one. And what we've found out here through the course of this series is that these people were actually experimented on by this company named Trellix. And what they did is there was apparently like this alien beast thing that came to the earth, and they ended up getting it, and they got samples of it, and they took these samples of like DNA samples. It sounds like skin grafts almost too, and they actually put it in the brains of these people when they were born. I believe it was when they were born, if I'm remembering right. But these things are like growing in their head and almost like a tumor, and then they've kind of been coming out of these people as their powers have been increasing and things like that. And here we get the wrap up of this story, and I got to tell you, you know what? I feel like this story comes to an end, but it just it does enough to make me want to read an other series. But is that other series coming? Is it? Are we gonna get a second series to this? I really don't know, but I feel like it told such a good story and leaves on such a cliffhanger that there is more to tell in this story, but I almost feel like we're not gonna get it. And I kind of like that feeling, right? I kind of like that feeling. And Colin Bunn is known for doing that in some of his stories as well. You know, where he'll tell you this kind of creepy, weird, dark tale, and then not really give you kind of that finish to it. It's just comes to an end, a conclusion, like a sort of conclusion. There might be more to this story. There is more to this story for sure. But are we going to get it? I don't know. But let me tell you, Colin Bunn, you son of a bitch, man. This was a good damn book. This was a good damn book. In just these 5 issues, just kind of how, like I said, because all these things happen and you get this conclusion, but you don't feel that it's concluded. I don't know how, I don't know if it gets any better than that, right? I don't know if it gets any better than that. But let me know down in the comments below if you have read Phantom on the Scan and what you have thought of it. I think it's a definite recommend. Issue number 5 just hit shelves this week. And, you know, if you didn't get a chance to find it, you can't find the single issues, which you shouldn't have any problem finding the single issues on this one. make sure that you check out the trade paperback that will be coming out probably in the next handful of months as well. But let me know down in the comments below if you have read Phantom on the Scan and what your thoughts are on it, or if it even sounds interesting to you. Now, the last one we have here on Aftershock Comics is Miles to Go, issue number 5. This book is written by B. Clay Moore. It's got art by Stephen Molnar and lettered by Dave Sharp. Stephen Molnar, I'm sorry. I'll show you those names right there. Now, what this story was in the first couple of issues, well, first I've got to say, this issue number 5, like, they really, what was that DC book that came out, the Watchmen one, the Clock Tower, was it Clock Tower or Watchtower or whatever the hell it was called, that, you know, it was like however many issues, like a handful of issues, but it took like a year, 2 years to come out. That's kind of what happened here. I want to say that this book started nearly a year ago. Issue number 1 came out. Issue number 5 finally came out. There for a second, I thought Aftershock Comics got B. Clay Moored. That's kind of an inside joke if you know something that happened with one of his crowdfunding campaigns that he was doing. Anyway, we finally got this book, issue number 5 here, and what's going on in this story is we've got this this girl, this woman, well, I guess this woman in this case, who has this woman, Amara, and she is like a hitman, or was a hitman, and she's been doing it since she was a child. And what we come to find out is that throughout the course of the story is that she was actually taken by her father from her mother when she was a kid. She thought her mother was dead, didn't know she was around the whole time. She ended up becoming this assassin, and she ended up growing up. She ended up getting married. I think she was married, and then you know, had a child as well. And now her child is starting to show some of these gifts, or possibly has some of these gifts that she has. Well, what we come to find out is that she was actually given this kind of stuff that altered her DNA when she was born. Something that her mother, who was a scientist, kind of went ahead and, you know, kind of put her child up for the experimentation on. And so basically what this was, and this is, look, we find all this out in this issue right here. The, you know, the DNA thing, and that she's like, you know, possibly has these powers, and all it took was a good mentor to teach her, and she'd be like really great, and, you know, she supposedly passed it on to her daughter. We find like all of that out in this issue right here. There wasn't really any indications of that anywhere else throughout the book. It seemed like it was just kind of a road trip story where an assassin was being helped out by another assassin that used to work with her assassin father, because they worked together. They were good buddies, and, you know, and back in the war, and they were going out on a revenge to find out who was after them to kill them, and, you know, so they can just leave them alone or whatnot, and they end up killing them. And by the end of this series, in this issue number 5, we find out that it's a DNA thing, and that she's been experimented on, and yeah, and all in this last issue. And there is actually there's no closure to it, but we're left here with a cliffhanger saying the end with a question mark, like giving us a question, like, is this the end of this story? It's certainly the end of this story, this 5-issue miniseries that took like a fucking year to come out. And then in the last issue, you give us all the and then you end it with a question mark. Oh, hang around, kids. Next year, we're going to come out with a book that's going to take another full year to come out. You know, I think this series could have been a lot better had they done it. Look, like I just said about the last book, Like I just said, like I was saying about Phantom on the Scan, it gives you closure, but it's not, doesn't feel like it's over, you know? Where this one doesn't give you closure and it doesn't feel like it's over. It feels like this is an issue number 3 and you're going to get issue number 4 and 5 getting ready to come out, well, in this case, in the next 6 months or so. I honestly think that maybe what happened here, maybe it's the writer here. I honestly think that what happened here is this writer probably had a good idea for a story. Things started to move along, and then it became like, oh, I don't know what to do here, because I built up this story about this assassin who was just kind of on this road trip with this other assassin because it was her father's friend, to go out and maybe find out who it was trying to kill her. And then in the last book, you kind of flip it, right? Like it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same as the last book I was discussing on Phantom on the Scan, where like everything I feel there was done right. There's miles to go. I mean, the delays that it took for it to come out, let alone this story, how it just completely flips the script in this last issue. Like you had an idea, and then like mid-story you got another idea for another cool story. Cool story, bro. I can't recommend this, only on the mere fact of how long it took to come out, and the fact that the story here isn't complete. We weren't given a complete story. And the fact, you know, maybe if they come out, maybe if, okay, 2 big words there, maybe if they come out with a second arc for this story and go through there and give some sort of conclusion, I might be able to recommend this. But as of now, I can't say that this book is a recommend. I was enjoying the story. I was all on board through 5 issues that took way too long to come out. And then I get to this last issue of this series, and I'm, like I said, feel like I've been B. Clay Moored. I don't know. Maybe somewhere in the future I'll be able to recommend this book sometime down the line. But I can't. I can't at this point. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you have read Miles to Go, what you thought about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it down there in the comments below if you have read this one. Not a recommend. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. But that now, folks, this last one, I haven't even got a chance to read. I haven't even got a chance to read all of it. I'm probably about, I don't know, 2 issues into it. But this one I picked up right here, this is on Dark Horse Comics. This is the EC Archives. This is Vault of Horror. This is issues number 12 through 17. Now, apparently, what I'm getting out of this is that issue number 12 of the Vault of Horror story is where it finally got its own solo series. That's why this one's volume 1, but it's issue number 12, right? Because what they do is these are anthology series, these different ones that they, the books that they put together. And I think it was probably in one of these other books that was probably came out of Suspense Stories, or one of these different titles that they have. Because even out of the Vault of Horror came the Crypt of Horror, and then the Tales from the Crypt. And let me show you, because I picked this one up several months ago. A couple months ago, when I picked this one up, which was the Tales from the Crypt. This one was volume 1 of Crypt of Terror, issues number 17 through 19, and Tales from the Crypt, issues number 20 through 22. So basically, and what these ones were this was when the Tales from the Crypt series first launched off on its own issue number 1, basically its first solo series that had these other books within it. But it was actually born in these other series. There were other stories within it. Like I said, they are all anthology series. And this one right here, and I'm telling you, I love this Tales from the Crypt one. But this Vault of Horror getting in here is such a great book. This thing was $19.99. It contains what, 6 issues? It contains these 6 issues right here of the Vault of Horror. And I'm telling you, these books are must read, must own. It's got a foreword by R.L. Stine. I don't really know a way to express how great these damn books are. The other thing about these reprints that they're doing here in these EC archives is they're doing them in this bigger format where, like, you can see, like, here's the size of a normal comic book, and here's the size of these ones that they're doing here, right? It's that much bigger, right? Man, and I'm telling you, you get into these, they're in here in a larger format. They're really nice to read, kind of just because they're kind of bigger once you get in here on the stories. Now, the other thing that's absolutely great when you get into these books is first they start off with a little introduction by Grant Geisman talking about the company of Entertainment Comics, EC Comics. How they kind of started off and just a brief history about them. I may just record these on a video one day. And then it's got this foreword here by R.L. Stine where they're kind of talking to you about how they were influenced by these stories when they were young. And before they got into their comic career or story career. R.L. Stine does a bunch of like horror books, and I believe there's a lot of them are for like not necessarily all kids, but I know the ones I've seen at my comic shop they have there are more aimed for children. But you get into these stories and you have just all of these great stories in here by all of the great creators like Al Feldstein, Art, Johnny Craig. Let's see who else. We got Wally Wood and Harry Harrison, Gardner Fox and Harry Harrison. Now, didn't Gardner Fox? Isn't he the guy who created Hawkman? I'm pretty sure that he is. You've got Bill Gaines in here doing some writing. Harvey Kurtzman. Yeah, Harvey Kurtzman. Did I say Al? No, I said Al Feldstein. Okay, yeah. Al Feldstein. And Harvey Kurtzman. All of these great people that I guarantee you, if you see their work and know who they are, you know their work. Al Feldstein. You know him probably better from Mad Magazine. But you get into these books, they even have some of these stories like this that are really great, right? Some of these, like, they're just little stories telling little horrific tales. But then you get into these books, you get this, just like this old school art style. Just like something like, I don't believe it's replicated these days. But what you get is these great stories that they're horror stories, right? But I just don't feel like the horror is necessarily always scary. A lot of them are ultimately moral tales of vanity and greed and lust gone wrong, the lengths that people will go to for these things. These books are absolutely great. If you can find any of these books from EC Comics out there at your, when you're out there long box diving in any comic shops or anything like that, any of these done by the EC imprint, pick them fucking things up and add them to your collection. They are worth it. These stories are absolutely great, and I cannot stress that enough. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, are what comics are all about. These things stand the test of time, and I don't see books even these days that can rival these kinds of stories. Now, the thing is, you get in here, and like I said, they're not reinventing the wheel. They're just relying on good storytelling, good moral tales that they are telling in these books. It seems so simple and basic, but I'm sitting here tearing through these things like, man, why can't we get stuff like that these days? Right? It's a little bit harder. Everybody feels they have to go out there and do something bigger brained and all of that stuff. Where, you know what? You can keep it simple and basic and do some absolutely great stuff. And these books right here from the EC archives being printed by Dark Horse Comics are exactly what you need to add to your collection. You can find these things in these nice premium formats. They do them in hardcovers. I believe there's another one getting ready to come out next week. They also, you know, you can also find those single issues out there at your local comic book shop, and I highly recommend that you do. Well, I mean, if they have back issues and stuff like that, and you can find these things, because I guarantee you people that have these things do not want to get rid of them. I certainly know that I wouldn't, but let me know down in the comments below if you have read any of these books. Have you read The Vault of Horror? Have you read Tales from the Crypt, or even The Crypt of Terror, the original books from EC Comics, and what did you think about them? I'm telling you, I absolutely love them. I absolutely love them. Definitely recommend. Highly recommend. There you go, check them out. But let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. Now let's get into the live chats and see what all you beautiful folks are talking about and what you are saying while I'm just sitting here flapping my gums. How are y'all doing today? Let's see here. We've got, first off, let's start off with my man Mike Porter with a $9.99 super chat. Says, I like theaters. Sometimes I want to get out of my house. I'm hyped for Shang-Chi. This should be a day of hype. Not people saying they'd rather see Spider-Man. People are spoiled. Today is Shang-Chi Day. Yes, baby. Oh, yeah. And you know we're going to be taking it to Bermuda, baby. Yeah. Absolutely. Mike Porter, thank you so much for the very generous super chat. We greatly appreciate that. We greatly appreciate you, Mike Porter, and all of our channel supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I didn't mention it yet, but if you like what you're seeing here, please make sure that you're subscribed. Click that little bell and all that good stuff so you get all the notifications. Make sure you click all so you get all the notifications when we upload new videos or when we go live with any of these live streams. Also, if you would like to take your support of the channel just a little bit further, you can do so by becoming a channel member. Join all the beautiful folks in the chat that you see here with all those beautiful little badges next to their name for as little as $3.99 a month by becoming a channel member. You can click the join button right next to the subscribe button unless you're on an iOS device. Make sure that you click the link down in the description that says join to become a channel member. One of the immortal Myrtle Maniacs. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, and thank all of the immortal Myrtle Maniacs. Yeah! All right, so let's get in here and see what all lovely folks we have here today. We got my man Chillmonger, ladies and gentlemen, in the building. Says, good morning. Hey, Captain Marvel was awesome this week. Kamala looked wrecked at the end. You know what? I didn't read it. I've been buying it, but I haven't read. But I've got it. But I haven't read it yet. I think the last issue I read was probably issue number 25. I think it was probably 24 or 25. It just hasn't been a priority to catch up on for me, and just like I've got, dude, I probably got a stack like that of X-Men books that I bought last year, towards the tail end that I didn't. Yeah, you probably can't tell like how big that is. It's not like the size of my head. It's like actually bigger. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's like that. It's like that of X-Men comic books. I just put them away. I have no intentions of reading. I bought them. I bought them. But yeah, they're just not priority for me to read, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, just like my Black Widow issues. I got some Black Widow issues kind of piling up. I think the last one I read was issue number 5. Might have been 4. And I think they're on like issue like 12 now. So I'm just behind. That one I actually plan on reading. And I'll catch up on the Captain Marvel too. But I'll have to check them out. I'll let you know. Once I get caught up. I'll let you know. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you also go check out my man Chillmonger. Go subscribe to his channel in case you haven't already. If you haven't already, get the hell out of here. I'm just kidding. You don't really have to get the hell out of here, but you do have to go check out my man Chillmonger. Subscribe to his channel. Very, very good dude. He is the foremost authority on Riri Williams, Ironheart, maybe even Kamala Khan that I know of. Go check out his channel. Go get brushed up on some comic history. Or I don't know if it's recent. Is it still history? I guess it's history still, right? Yeah. Anyway, Obi-Wan the homie, my man, aka Beskar Batman in the building, has had to jump from the tower and would rather be on 2nd Street. Yeah. Yeah. I mean the tower, like it's clear up there in the Richie part of town. You know, it's clear up there in the Richie. We're on 2nd Street. We're not. Yeah. We're not there. We're not there with all the big buildings, right? You know that third floor. You know that third floor basement that son of a bitch talks about? It's my basement. That's actually my basement. He lives in the basement with Myrtle. That son of a bitch. Him and, and Elisa, she don't even live here. Like that's all just a ruse. It's all just a ruse. It's an act. It's an act. None of that stuff is even true. Fucking Josh lives downstairs with fucking Myrtle in my basement. I'm not even his mother, but he always calls me his mother. Isn't that weird? So weird. I know. But hey, you know, you gotta love the guy. You gotta love the guy. Super hyped to head to the theater and take in Shang-Chi tonight. Absolutely, I'm going with the kids. I don't know. My friends haven't answered me back if they're going or not yet. I know one of them is. Aggressively Relaxed says, good to hear. Chill. I haven't read it yet. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, my man Mike Porter in the building. What kind of freak isn't a Judas Priest fan? I know that's exactly what I'm saying, Aglax. Also, guys, make sure that you go check out my man Aglax as well. Make sure you go check out Aggressively Relaxing. He's been back on his content making game, man. Seems like he's slowing down sometimes. But he's back. He just dropped a video the other day. Make sure that you go check out his channel as well, man. Very good stuff. Hilarious stuff. If you're not subscribed to him neither, you know what? I am serious this time. Just leave. All right. Mike Porter says, I like to go to the theater sometimes because I want to go outside of my house. Yeah, I mean, I get outside of my house all the time. I mean, my business kind of requires me to, and it's great. It's great. I get to go out and see local people in my community and serve them and get them some great snacks and shit. Speaking of which, I need to go out and do that soon because it's Labor Day weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Labor Day weekend, so I got to go out there and get all the ladies and gentlemen. There's good snacks. They want my nuts. They want my nuts. They do. Like a lot of people do. I'm serious. Like people text me and shit and say they want my nuts. I'm not even kidding. Like it's not a joke. I mean, they're saying it as a joke, but they're not joking. I mean, you know, because I mean, it's kind of the thing is like, I mean, it's kind of it's not really even an inside joke because I sell nuts and snacks, trail mixes, candies, beef jerky, chocolate, all kinds of good shit. But I mean, that's what it is. Like when you're in the nut business, there's no business like the nut business, you know, because people always want some of your nuts, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's a completely different story though. But yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah, going outside the house. Yeah. I got to. People want my nuts. Daniel Fisher, thank you so much for being here. Hope you're having a very good day today. We got Obi-Wan the homie says, can't wait to pick up Telepaths because I'm hyped for all the AWA titles. Yes, absolutely. Telepaths was a good one, man. It was a good one. I really did like it. Yeah, it was a good one. Lucas Texvenger, my man, what is up? How are you doing today? What is up? Obi-Wan says Resistance Moths, Uprising, and Knighted is, oh yeah, Knighted. I can't wait to see that one, man. Can't wait to see that one. Yeah, the Resistance was that what it was? The Resistance Uprising? That might have been what it was. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Son of a bun. Yeah, like a son of a bun. Yeah. Love it. Again, Mike Porter, thank you so much for the 99-cent or $9.99, $9.99 super chat. It's 10. Can we just call it $10? We just call it $10. Dang, I just got the notification for this. What's up, guys? Oh, you know, that's weird. That's weird. I talked about that at the beginning. I set the notification where it should have sent out that I was going live. It should have sent out at 10 after 8 that I was going live at 8:40, and then I went live. I actually just went live like soon after, like 10 minutes later, and I did that so it would send out a notification because anyway, yeah. because I didn't, because like if you have it scheduled at least a half hour ahead of time, it'll send out notifications like, hey, so and so's going live in 30 minutes. But yeah, so that's why I did that. So you at least get a notification, then bam, I did it. And it should send one out when you actually go live too. But I understand that they're actually sending out notifications late too. So there you go. And that should be, if I can get it scheduled a half hour ahead of time, that means by the time you actually get the notification for the going live in 30 minutes, it should be about the time of going live, right? Oh man, going to see Sunday to see Shang-Chi. All right, man. Nice. Hype for Shang-Chi. Yes. This is the way it always been for Kung Fu movies, Porter Warriors. Great men like you and me are excited, but for most, it only reminds them of their cowardice. Yes. I'm going to see it tonight in IMAX since I don't have. We don't either. We don't either. I've got a nice big screen and everything, and a lot of movies still look freaking great on it. But you know what? Going to see movies IMAX, they're just fine, man. Going to see IMAX, and I'm a theater goer. I like theaters. I'm not scared to go outside like some people. There we go. I'm not scared to go outside like some people, man. At all. Matter of fact, this last weekend we were out super spreading in Legoland. I don't know. That's just funny. Anyway, super spreading. Get out of here. Let me see. Mike Porter says, smells like pralines and dick in here. Reefer Man says a lot of horror movies from back in the day when these comics were printed were filmed the same way, where it wasn't so much a horror but a cautionary tale. Yeah, that's what I say. Like just good moral tales, and it's really good. Now here's the thing too: is it getting into these books? I believe a lot of these stories and everything were taken and obviously adapted in the Tales from the Crypt TV show. You see a lot of these same stories that were in there because. Like, I read a lot of them, like, hey, like, I'm pretty sure I remember this in the TV show. Remember, what was that? Did it used to be on HBO? Was it HBO? Or was it Showtime? They used to have the Tales from the Crypt show back in the day with the Crypt Keeper and everything. Good stuff. Like, it's just like that. You know what? Do they have those on DVD? If not, they probably got them. If not, they probably got them in digital and you can buy. Actually, they probably don't even have. If they are on digital, they probably don't even put them on. Buy them. Somebody's like, we want you to subscribe to our subscription service. Yeah. Just send me the goddamn DVDs. I'll even buy the goddamn digitals. Like whatever. I don't want to fucking subscribe to your streaming service. It's too many of them. But yeah, and I believe a lot of you can see the influence for a lot of them too, because it was one of them I was reading too that really reminded me of An American Werewolf in London. It really reminded me of that too. And I was So I'm sure a lot of them were inspired, and that's kind of what's cool about inside of these is they have like this the first one, the Tales from the Crypt one, has a foreword by John Carpenter in there. So you know they're obvious. All these people were obviously influenced by all this stuff anyway. This is sequential storytelling of comic books. These great fucking stories, absolutely. Yes, comics are great, but what about Shang-Chi? I don't know, man. We're gonna find out tonight. Yes, we are.
A child.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, I don't know if I think I may have gotten rid of the Zemo fist bump. I may have gotten rid of the Zemo. Did I get rid of Zemo? Come on, where you at, Zemo? I think I did. I think I got rid of Zemo. What's it? I don't know what that one is. Yeah, I got rid of Zemo apparently. I have to put him back on. I know the video's still on here. Cerebral horrors. Yeah, horror stories. Yeah, absolutely. I once got a Shang itch when I was in the service. Oh yeah, you gotta be careful with that, man. Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. Mike Shang Itchy Porter. What? All right. You got me. I was sound like, huh? What? I once got a Shang Bermuda, baby. Yeah, absolutely. Whoops, I just spoiled it. What'd you spoil? You're all good. I'm selling my entire Hickman run of X-Men stuff. What? Why? Nah, man. You gotta wait. You gotta wait till it goes up. Wait till it goes up in value. Which actually, some of those books are actually worth some already anyway. I stopped buying it months ago. Yeah. Landon, thank you so much for being here. Phantom Stranger, how are you doing? So, going to see Shang-Chi tomorrow. All right. Hell yeah, man. I have every issue of X-Men New Mutants. Was so good yesterday. Right on. Yeah, I haven't read any of them. I haven't read it. I haven't read it in a while. Yeah, nuts. Yeah, Reefer Man says your nuts are good, but your gummies are better. Oh man, that's that. You son of a bitch. How am I supposed to respond to that? Because that sounds like your gummies like, hey, come here. I don't know. Giving my nuts to the community cost me 18 years of child support. Oh, I agree. No business like the nut business. Yeah. Absolutely. This much just flapping your gummies. Yeah. Taught my girlfriend a new move the other night. It was called the Zemo fist bump. The Zemo fist bump. Oh man. About to go to lunch so I'm able to chat more. Oh, all right. Yeah, no problem. Good deal. But yeah, let's go ahead. You know, guys, I was saying earlier, Shang-Chi. What are you guys thinking about it? Are you guys hyped to see it? We've got our tickets to go see it tonight. I don't know, man. There was I'm ready to go see it. I'm not sure how hyped I am. You know? I'm not sure how hyped I am. It looks like it's gonna be good, but I also kind of feel, and I've talked about this before, like it's supposed to be that way. Remember I was hyped to go see Iron Man when it came out at the theater, right? The very first movie in the MCU. Like, that's kind of where we're at once again in the MCU. We're kind of back at that level one, that phase one again. Because they're starting to introduce new characters, new stories, and things of characters that I can't say that we don't know about, but that we don't know about because this is the MCU. It's a different universe than the comics, right? So we don't really know these characters even as much as we do know them. It's going to be something different that they are doing here. So I feel like we're back there at that phase one level where they're at a point where they actually have to get people hyped back up into the MCU. They got to a point where, just kind of that pinnacle. And now it came down from that, especially with this last year with the pandemic and everything, not being able to go to theaters, a lot of the streaming shows being delayed, and just all this different stuff that has gone on out there in the real world, not even just for the within the world of these films, because the world of these films has kind of done the same thing. It came to a point in Endgame where that was kind of it. It was the end. And they even talked about that even leading up to it as a culmination of these 10 years. A culmination is kind of an end. It's an ending point, right? Before you're starting back off again. And I feel that's where they're at again at this point, is having to build that hype back up and all of those kinds of things. Now, they've been doing, for me, they've been doing a decent job just like keeping me interested with the TV shows. Looking back on all of these things, looking at even right now with the What If series, how the What If series started off with that episode number 1. What if what if the first Avenger was Peggy Carter? And I thought that was a good episode. Then we moved into the T'Challa. What if he was a Star-Lord? And then last week when we got it for what if Fury's big week went awry, and then this week the Doctor Strange episode, right? I think throughout the course of this show, it's kind of found its footing, and it's just seeing where we are now, even in this show, compared to all of these shows. The further out we get from them, or the further along we get, it feels like these shows are a lot better than maybe we thought in the moment, right? In the moment. Because for one, I really did enjoy WandaVision in the moment as it was coming out. Had an absolutely fucking great time here, coming to chat about it every week with you all. We have my man Chillmonger on the show. Man, Chillmonger, we need to get our schedules to line back up again, man. But it was an absolutely great time getting in there, talking about the show, just everything that kind of happened in the episode, just kind of our raw feelings and emotions right afterward. And then we moved forward into Falcon and Winter Soldier, and looking back at that, we haven't had anything aside from maybe Black Widow, which is originally supposed to come in before Falcon and Winter Soldier ever released, that were tied together. I don't really feel that they've done anything to build upon that yet. I think that's where maybe the Hawkeye series is going to come in, even though we hear that the Hawkeye series is actually even going to possibly tie in to the next Spider-Man film as well. I think there's just a lot of cool things going on here. And in hindsight, a lot of these shows are going to have paid off. Oh, can you imagine that? Like, they actually did some foreshadowing. They actually thought, they played the long game on these, right? They played the long game on these shows. We're like, oh, hey, we're going to have these shows and use them for setup of stuff getting ready to come in our shows, right? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? You know, that boner that some people were so upset about because they were just thinking short term. Like, I need this show to have all the full payoff. I need this show to blow my wad. But that's not what these shows are for. Where these shows are for the setup of these things. Like I said, who would have thought? Playing the long game with those TV shows, right? And so I think we still have more to build up into the Falcon and Winter Soldier series to have it have more payoff. Obviously, we know that the Captain America 4 is going to be coming out with Anthony Mackie returning as Captain America. So, I mean, there's obviously more that's going to be leading into that movie getting ready to come up. But then also you take a look at, even looking back at the Loki series now. And, like, altogether, like, even as it was coming out and even looking back at some of it as I've kind of watched here and there, just some little different things, wasn't that great of a show. Just like some of the acting, like that Sophia Di Martino actor, she's just not really that good of an actor. She's not very convincing to me most of the time. And it's hard for me to get invested in that. There's probably a reason why I've never heard of her before this show. But even looking back at that show, going and seeing some of the stuff in there, there's some very, very great stuff being set up there that I feel ties into WandaVision, that I feel is going to tie into the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, that I honestly feel kind of ties into what we're getting in this What If series, as well as we see, like I was talking about yesterday, that we're going to see some of these worlds and times starting to collide on each other. All these worlds and multiverses are going to start kind of just coming in and on each other, just kind of imploding. Would that be imploding? Not even imploding. They're kind of intersecting. Don't cross the streams, right? So I think like these shows are playing more that long game thing, and I like that. I like that. I don't need these shows to be big, super crazy payoff kind of stuff. But I feel that they need to still do a lot of the stuff in the MCU. What they did, like I said, they built their foundations with these solo films going up. And I kind of feel that's where they are again. They got to build that hype back up. And recently, Daniel RPK on Twitter announced that the next slate of MCU films are going to be Avengers type films with a lot of team ups. And I gotta tell you, I shared the tweet out there. We're probably gonna make a video about this, but I don't like the idea. I hate that idea. The MCU was not founded on that. They didn't build their success on doing team up films. I'm not talking about team films. Guardians of the Galaxy was a team film. What I'm talking about here is team up films like the Avengers. You need to make solo movies that can stand on their own, not just the TV shows. Solo movies that stand up on their own for these individual characters and build on those and do team up movies, events at some point. You cannot do the continual team up thing in 5-6 movies through a whole phase that they're all team up films. They can be good, but that is not going to be successful for a lot of people because a lot of times you're going to get in some of these films things that you don't want to see. Like, I'm not worried about seeing this character, that character. Will I go watch their solo film? Yes. Do I want to see them and all? That's a different story. You're talking about a completely different thing. Like, it's a different beast. And it's not to say that people aren't interested in it in that way, but you need the thing that gets somebody there. You need I still feel you need that main star there for the title. Where they started doing this, Captain America Civil War. Now, they did the Avengers movies, a team-up movie of solo characters from solo films that they did. Guardians of the Galaxy is a team. It was a team movie. Now, you could honestly ask me about my opinions on that, and I'm not really big on the Guardians of the Galaxy in the first place. But then you move on into the next one where you really get a lot of that is into the, again, the Avengers movies. You get Infinity War and Endgame, where it was a huge amount of them on these same films. They're not there right now. I don't feel that they can do another event type level movie like that anytime soon and have it have the kind of success that they had with maybe not even the Avengers, but like Infinity War and Endgame, if that's what they're aiming for. You got to build up to that. You know, word of Secret Wars getting ready to come out, right? Well, like, you got to build up to that. You don't just do that. You don't just do Secret Wars at the end of Phase 4 and like expect it to do all the money in the theaters or whatever it is by that point and expect it to be super successful like Endgame. It took them how long to get there, to achieve that success of Infinity War and Endgame. Now, there's more fans, but there's less hype, right? Some of that they're killing themselves, but I think that's going to be something big moving on. Doing all these movies team up just sounds like a bad idea to me and not exactly what I want to see. Will I go watch it? Yeah, absolutely will, as long as it continues to be good. But they still need to do those standalone solo films, if you ask me. But it could just be me. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. Okay. Thanks for the promotion. I'm back up to 390. Thank you, Daniel Fisher. I released my new video and lost 3 subscribers. Man. Well, was the parody video? You gotta be careful, man. People are fickle. People are fickle. I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised by Shang-Chi and Eternals. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think we'll be pleasantly surprised. Are they going to be the best? I don't think they'll be the best. Will they be good? I think they'll be good. I hope. Reefer Man, I'm hyped. Let's see. I've been meaning to do it, but vacay got in the way last week. Oh, all right, yeah. Vacation, gotta enjoy it, man. Gotta enjoy it. Can't wait to be blown away watching Shang-Chi tonight. Yeah, me too. That Doctor Strange episode was a foreshadowing of possibilities in upcoming films. I was gonna get into that too. I was gonna get into that here in just a minute too. I'm gonna get into that here in just a minute. What if it's getting better every week? Hoping to see it tonight or tomorrow. We'll see if plans work out. All right, Daniel. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Try to get out to see it tonight, bruh. Absolutely. Reefer Man says, from a story perspective, how it was animated, all the special effects and potential ramifications of messing with that kind of magic might have in the upcoming Spidey Doctor Strange film's best episode. Calm down. Calm down, Reefer Man. Down, boy, down. Who would have thought? Me. Yeah. Is anyone else watching Lego Masters? No, I'm not. I haven't even heard about it until I heard about it. But no, I haven't. I need to check it out. Me and my son need to get there. I mean, because we've got, so if you guys can see all of those things right there. Ooh. Let's see. But speaking of their Reefer Man, you bring up something that I was actually wanting to talk about as well. Now, think about in this latest What If episode, when we seen the Ancient One, where she got there and she was talking to Doctor Strange and she told him that she split him in two. He was only half a man, right? This is even what oh man, why am I forgetting that guy's name that was in the episode yesterday? But you see him say that he's only half a man, And you see that the Ancient One said that she basically split him in two, right? And that's not saying like the astral form and all that stuff. Like, no, she split him in two, and it was in the two personalities, the one that went on to do all of the dark things that he was doing, and the one that decided not to meddle with time. And so you got the two different ones out there leading these different lives. Now, they were in the same universe still. So how does that happen exactly? Interesting, right? Well, if you look, even in that thumbnail for that Doctor Strange, or what was it, Spider-Man No Way Home, you see in there where it looks like Doctor Strange hits him, and you see his Spider-Man body, and then it looks like you see his astral form. I don't think that's his astral form. I think Doctor Strange is doing the same thing there that the Ancient One did to him, leading those two lives. Something happened there, right? Now, I do know, and I swear I read this in a comic series recently. But it's probably happened in other comic series as well, right? Where there is not a twin, not another version of him, but where there was another version, like where they had split personalities, where there was still Spider-Man going out there and doing his Spider-Man thing, and Peter Parker was just being Peter Parker. But what started to happen was the personality of Spider-Man was starting to separate from Peter Parker. Some of that conscious and everything, that those things that Peter would be, he began to become darker than Peter Parker and do more kind of like sinister kind of things. Maybe not necessarily evil, but I swear I just read this. Man, what damn book was that I read this in? But Peter Parker was going out there and doing and being different. He was like, but they had the split personalities. Aggressively relaxing. If you're still here in the chat, I know you know what I'm talking about. You've got to know. But man, what was that? I know I just read it too in one of the stories. It might have just been a reference to the older story, and they were just continuing on with it. Oh man, I can't remember what it was though. But it wasn't like Kane. It wasn't any other like version of him. It was actually him. Just his personality was split between the two. There's Peter and the other one, like I said, and then they had to join back together because they were becoming divergent, and like I said, things were just going awry. Things weren't going good. Oh man. It makes me want to start digging here through my collection now. Thinking about it. But man, what story? Dang it! What story was that? But it reminds me of that exact same thing. And maybe what happens is maybe Doctor Strange, like, I don't know, because in that, like, and all this stuff could be doctored, right? How much of this stuff in that trailer is doctored, right? And I know I'm not doing that as a pun, but like, you know, in all these episodes we see, you know, like they take out the Incredible Hulk. He's not in there, you know, just all these different things they do, all the tricks they play. How many tricks did they play in this? And also, I do still kind of feel, just like they do with a lot of their movies, that a lot of the stuff that was in this trailer was probably just stuff from the first 5 to 10 minutes of the film. Remember, they said that about Endgame, and they weren't lying. Like, most of that stuff was in the first like 5-10 minutes of the film. Like, I remember being in the theater when Endgame came out. I'm like, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see most of that stuff in the first few minutes. And yeah, most of it was like, most of what we seen in those trailers was from like the first 10 minutes of the film. And I remember sitting in the theater chuckling. I'm like, they weren't lying. Most of it was. I mean, eventually, obviously, we seen they were in the suits and everything when they were traveling through time, and they did that. But yeah, Spider-Man did the same thing in a similar story. Dang it. Man, I can't remember what, but it was, but also, I mean, you think about that, and you also think about the fact of the other storyline in which, and I'm not sure when it is, I believe it's sometime after Civil War, when Doctor Strange actually went out there and cast a spell to make everybody forget that he was Peter Parker, that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Man, I can't remember. Anyway, Anyway, let's get back into the live chats. I see we got Felicity Poobell with a $5 super chat. Says, totally agree with you on the MCU's team up strategy, Trinity. They're showing they aren't confident going forward in the characters and stories. You know what? And that's honest. To be honest, that's kind of what that's showing. Exactly. I mean, it's definitely implying that, and that's not a good thing. And they've got good. And believe me, I don't think that most of these people they're bringing in are terrible characters. You know, some of them are silly, granted, but I don't think all of them are terrible characters, and I think they could all do great things in the MCU. To even take a look at Squirrel Girl. Silly, crazy. I've never even read no Squirrel Girl, nothing. I've read some stories that she's in and everything like that, but silly, like, again, to me, it just seems like a silly character. I think that character could be somebody, if they brought into the MCU, they could do cool things with. Does that mean that character needs a solo movie? Absolutely not. But that's why you don't build a whole solo series around that character. They can be a supporting character in a movie and maybe have their own show. They can have a show. You know, they could do that kinds of stuff. But I do feel that they need, I mean, that's what they need to do. I mean, if they have no confidence in them, they need to at least show that they do and put some of these characters in solo films. Moon Knight absolutely needs a solo film, not a team up movie, not just a TV show. Moon Knight needs a film, right? Shang-Chi's getting a film. Believe me, there's no way that you're ever going to convince me that Shang-Chi is fucking cooler than Moon Knight. And Moon Knight's getting a TV show, Shang-Chi should get a movie? Come on, man. Come on. Oh, wait. Does Moon Knight... I guess Moon Knight don't necessarily concentrate on an underrepresented... Anyway, you don't check that box. You know, check that box. But no, seriously, they do need to make the solo films. They do need to make solo films. And again, thank you so much, Felicity, for the $5 super chat. But yeah, they need the solo films, man. I'm telling you, it's those stories individually, yeah, that are just so great. I'm glad summer to be over, but I dread winter. Yeah, I really like the summer. I honestly like 2020 summer more. Man, all right. Still had an amazing summer. 9.9 out of 10. All right. It's already feeling like fall, and it looks like it's only been a day. Yeah, I was gonna say, man, here, like, it's, I don't know, it's already cooled down a little bit from what it's been. Bit chilly today as well. All right. Don't sleep on Squirrel Girl. She's taking down some heavy hitters in the comics. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, I have no doubt that the character can be cool. I've just never read the comics, but to me, it's a silly character. You know, it's just a silly character. That's not to say there's anything wrong with the character at all. But even like the Ironheart, I know so many people were ringing about that. I think they could actually do something cool with that character. If they do it right. I think they could do cool stuff with that character. Even like Captain Marvel. I think Captain Marvel is a cool character. But again, you gotta do it right. Again, you gotta do it right. By the way, I'm okay with the show that gives us 8 to 10 hour intro into a character. Yeah, I'm okay with the I'm definitely okay with the shows doing what they're doing, but I feel these shows could give us an introduction to characters, even some of the smaller characters, but I still feel that a lot of these bigger characters like a Moon Knight need actual solo films. You could do like they're doing with the show and still give him a solo film, and you don't have to dive as deep into his history and his lore in the actual movie. You can just hit the ground running. But I honestly think a lot of that is great to see in the films. Take a look at the first Iron Man. Like, and I know pretty much nobody's going to disagree with me. Look at the first Iron Man film. It's a great movie. And just introducing that character, getting us to know who he is and Tony Stark and all that stuff. Same could be said of the Thor film, except for those dyed eyebrows, right? Or even the first Avenger. Films, good standalone solo films. Felicity with another $5 super chat says, actually they should have reversed who they featured in movies and films. I would have been more hyped for Moon Knight, Loki, and even a Hawkeye pick. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I mean, and again, like they could do, like I feel like these bigger characters that they want out there, they need to have the solo, and I think in the film too, have these bigger introductions to these characters in the solo films. Because look, here's the reason why Falcon and Winter Soldier works out so good. Even if you didn't really like the show, why it works out better there. Because we've seen Falcon, we've been introduced to him. We've known who he is for a while. Winter Soldier, we've seen him introduced. We've been hanging out with him for a while. So you do a spin-off show where everything's happened. He ends up transitioning to Captain America. Bucky just stays Bucky. I mean, you got these things that happen, these little stories that happen in between all those times. You can do that with that. They kind of teamed up. They went with Zemo. We got more history on Zemo. They kind of teamed up with him even. You can do all those things in a little solo film. All these little things that don't necessarily need to happen in the films, but still give us those introductions in the films. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They should have switched it. They should have switched it. They should have switched it. Like maybe even with Eternals. Because maybe there's so much going on with Eternals, they could have done so much more than they're going to do in this film. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm just saying. In a show, they could have, done, 45-minute episodes or whatever, and each one could have concentrated on a different one of them, 45 minutes each, right? And then, maybe maybe a couple episodes in there is where they're kind of all getting together, and then you could do the movie. I don't know. But yeah. Aggressively Relaxing says Squirrel Girl is going to be huge. You can get her first appearance for $30. Eat nuts, kick butts. Ha! Yeah, love it. Love it. You're drawing me in there with eat nuts. I get you. Every time Felicity Poubelle talks MCU, I picture Elaine from Seinfeld dancing because Elaine is trying to recruit evil versions of the Avengers. Yeah. You want to see her doing the little dance? Yeah. 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 I like this show. I love Seinfeld, and I like Elaine. I definitely like that she's in the MCU, man. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I do like her, and I don't see her just as Elaine, but I definitely always still see Elaine though at the same time. You know what I mean? That's funny. That's funny though. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for today's show. Again, at the start of the show, we started off talking about some of these great comic books that are hitting the shelves of local comic book shops this week. Just only had a few to actually review here this week, but I'm telling you, I also talked about these Dark Horse these trades that they're putting out of the EC archives that are absolutely must-read books. They're classified under horror, but I wouldn't say for the most part that you're getting a lot of gory horror stuff in them, but definitely some very good moral tales. Very good stuff. Highly recommend. Then after that, we got into a little bit of MCU talking about Shang-Chi. Our hype for it. Didn't we kind of talk? I guess we didn't. I guess we got into so much more than that. Because I don't know. I guess the movie's here. What else is it? What else is there to say? What else is there to say other than this movie better be good? Dang it, better be good. But yeah, guys, that's all I've got for today's video. Thank you all so much for being here today. Make sure that you're staying hydrated. Make sure you drink some water. This last weekend, we went to Legoland and everything. Kind of didn't really eat a whole lot of shitty food, but, did some drinking and stuff and just had a good time, kind of cut loose. And now it's time to get into health mode phase, kind of detoxing this week, if you will. Just kind of getting my diet back in check. Gonna start cutting out all the carbs, getting ready to start doing a diet here going into the holidays, ladies and gentlemen. If there's any time of year that you should probably concentrate and think about cutting back on all the bad shit and start eating healthy, it's right now. Do it right now in these 2 months leading up to Thanksgiving, when you're bound to overindulge. Halloween, when you may indulge. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. And even through the holiday season of Christmas and New Year's. Now's the time to tighten up the belt, so your belt don't tighten up come the beginning of the year. You have much less to lose. But anyway, folks, Thank you all so much for being here today. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you tomorrow for the weekly wrap-up, getting ready to go into the Trailer Park Live. Thank you all so much for being here. Make sure you like the video on your way out. Give it a thumbs down if you don't like it, but make sure you share it out with a friend as well and tell them to come hang out with us here on the 2nd Street Mall, where you all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video or live stream. Later.